Welcome back to The Splash. Dave Scott, a big event going on in West Bloomfield Wednesday night over at Temple Israel, another major event at Temple Israel, as Bari Weiss will be here. She is a noted New York Times columnist, and she is going to be doing, along with our own Mitch Albom from the Detroit Free Press, good friend of the show, they're going to be doing a program speaking about anti-Semitism, and it's all going to be going on at Temple Israel May 3rd. It's going to begin in the evening. Tickets are available for the event and for the afterglow if you would like to get a hold of them. We'll have that information for you in just a moment. We are delighted now to be joined by the Cantor from Temple Israel, Michael Smolash. Cantor Smolash, thank you very much for joining us on The Splash this morning. Good to have you.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Well, unfortunately, this is a very important issue. As we found out Friday, after a synagogue on Woodward Avenue in Royal Oak was vandalized with anti-Semitic hate speech and graffiti over at the Woodward Avenue Shul, I know that had impact on our community, as expected. So. This program that you've got going on Wednesday night at Temple Israel comes at a very important time for our community. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. That incident shocked everyone here. We sent our support to the Woodward Avenue Shul, as I know did much of the Jewish community. And I wish I could say it was an isolated incident, but this kind of stuff is going around all over the country, and it's exactly what this event is about. Bari's been speaking out about anti-Semitism really since she began writing professionally. She's one of the most powerful voices, and we encourage people to buy and read her book, How to Fight Anti-Semitism. You can get it online before they come or after the event, and it's just going to be a fascinating and really important conversation for us and for the whole community.
Well, you've got Bari Weiss coming in, and if you don't know Bari Weiss and you know Mitch Albom, you know that if she's the headliner and Mitch is number two, then she's got some good. So it's going to be great. You really have a terrific pair. I'm sure those two know each other, and knowing Mitch like I do, I think it's going to be a fantastic program. And like I said, it's a very important program. But you've lined up a great evening. I know people will want to come out and see. And you got to really be proud that you've got these two amazing, noted columnists coming into Temple Israel on Wednesday.
Absolutely. Mitch has always been a good friend to Temple Israel. We hired Bari, and that was really our big vision for this. But Mitch was sweet enough and generous enough to come and really lead the conversation. And he's very interested in hearing not only her thoughts on Israel, but how it plays into the whole free media, the whole freedom of the press issue. So I do think people from Michigan in particular are going to find this the most fascinating conversation on anti-Semitism that they're going to hear this year. Everyone should absolutely come around and see it.
Well, and you make a good point too, Cantor Smolash, in that there's a bigger issue here, and anti-Semitism is enough of an issue in and of itself. But there's a bigger issue. There is what's going on in the media and what's going on in the press today. And in addition, when you talk about anti-Semitism, you can't help but think about, and certainly to some degree talk about, hate in any form against any community. And it's not just the Jewish community that's facing, more hate right now. We're seeing it across all fronts.
Of course. At Temple Israel, all of our clergy are involved in interreligious, interracial work to make sure that everyone is protected and everyone is safe. However, not many people recognize that although the Jews make up 2.5%, a tiny drop in America's population, we have the privilege of receiving 57.5% of the hate crimes. So that's well beyond equal opportunity in terms of our share of hate crimes and anti-Semitism. So that is a hugely outsized focus on Jews for many reasons, kind of in the mind of people that are doing this. And unfortunately, everybody seems to feel like, it's those people on the other side of the political spectrum that are responsible. But one of the things Bari brings out beautifully, and I think everyone should take a close look, is that it's coming from both sides of the spectrum, that bad actors on what we call the right and what we call the left are just as responsible for things like the swastika on the synagogue, things like an old man getting a brick in his face in Brooklyn, and tragically things like the Tree of Life, where 11 Jews were murdered, the biggest slaughter of Jews in North America that we're aware of, right? So we're definitely, Temple Israel is at the forefront of making sure all religions, all peoples are safe. But we also want people to know, hey, when you're 2.5% of the population, something's wrong when you're receiving 57% of the hate crimes.
Well, no question about it. And I really applaud you, sir, for not politicizing this. I mean, everything gets politicized. You have just done what I wish more people do all the time and depoliticized it, right? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to say, well, it's got to be these guys or it's got to be these guys. Let's just deal with the problem. So thank you very much for holding this event. I'm really excited about it. We'll be out there. I look forward to meeting Barry and Mitch and seeing Mitch again. And if the audience and people watching want to get a little bit closer, there really is an opportunity because we have tickets for not only the presentation, but there's going to be an afterglow. And knowing Mitch, and I'm sure, I don't know Barry, but I'm sure they'll make themselves available to people that want to get a chance to say hello, maybe autograph a book. So am I correct in that?
Absolutely. So the evening again starts, doors open at 6:45. Barry will speak at 7:30. I just want to point out, if you are a student or if you have a student in your family, any student at any institution, kindergarten to college, right, comes in free to both the event and the afterglow. And then if you'd like to come to the afterglow, Barry will be signing books and you'll have a chance to say hi. And that starts after the event around 8:45. It's got wine and dessert, and they're $36 for young adults, which is folks under 40, $36 for our members, and $90 per person for the public to come to that.
Okay.
But students can come to any of this at no charge. This is
That's great.
Something they're wading into.
That's awesome. It's all, go to the Temple Israel website, temple-israel.org/event/Bari Weiss. But I'm sure if you get in there, you get to temple-israel.org, you'll find your way. And you can always call and look them up. And you guys will get a hold of the people over at Temple Israel. Do it too, because it's really going to be a great night. Thank you very much. Thank you too to your congregation for hosting our annual Michigan Week celebration. Couldn't be more thrilled. You got a great facility, and we look forward to being with you on the 12th as well. So good to have you with us this morning, and thanks for your time and comments.
Thanks for
Cantor, good to be with you. Okay, Cantor.
Thanks for having me on, Dave. It's been a pleasure.